Hey, you know it's Wednesday. It's 9 o'clock. You know what that means? The bird's eye view. And there he is, the pride of Kingman, Arizona, Mike Sheahan.
Morning, gents and Steve.
Wait, where are you? Is that a tree in the background or a painting?
No, I don't know. It's like, no, I'm still in the same spot as I was last week, but somehow, which I don't know how I did it, I have a blurred background.
I do like the angle better. It's not looking up at your stuff under there. I like that. You look like you lost some weight.
I have, unfortunately. It's not by choice.
Unfortunately?
Not by choice. Well, I mean, it's not by choice, right?
Okay.
So it's
pressure,
a lot of stress, a lot of walking. Yeah, I feel like there's just too much going on. If you knew what was going on today, you'd totally understand as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many prep rallies are there today? Are those being done tomorrow?
No, there's not much of that, but here's a little known secret. We have a new scoreboard coming in, which was like this biggest thing that I've been trying to get. Like it's I think it's like 26 by 20 foot TV, like literally, and it is being installed right now. And it is massive and beautiful. However, everything's not as fluid as I would like it to be right now. So, Steven, tomorrow when you come, I've got that old thing that they do for flag football. I'm just going to have you flip the numbers.
I'll do it.
From the sidelines.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm game for that. There's
a lot going on.
I have a hard time counting though, so somebody might have to tell me what comes after
Just
2.
Make sure ours has more. I
think Autumn's coming with me. She's more of the math person.
Perfect.
So
she can do the stopwatch. We'll have a manual stopwatch and a manual.
Yeah, exactly.
So we looked at the weather forecast, Mike. It's 30% chance of rain tomorrow. What?
It's not 30, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It is. And you can't start a football season without some sort of delay, can you? At Scottsdale Christian.
It's been so beautiful. I feel like you guys just did the thing like we've had beautiful weather all week, and you just did the no-hitter thing. You don't talk about it.
I did it last week, too. I brought up the weather, and then, like I said, right in the middle of that scrimmage, it starts pouring on us and everything.
So it does say rain. I literally haven't looked. The other day it said like 10%. It was down.
Today's 10% and 30% for tomorrow. Yeah. So
what time? It's not.
I don't know. I didn't know.
Why am I asking?
I think it starts at 6:55.
Hold on, Coach. Here we go.
Lightning.
So everybody, if you look here at right here at the time, it's supposed to be.
Show us the weather barometer. Yeah. Oh man.
We could do that. I just wasn't prepared.
It's been the last 2 years, right? The season opener.
Yeah, we've played over 2 nights 2 years in a row, and one game was over 2 nights.
Yeah.
So last year we just had to push it back.
Yeah, I mean, I drove all the way up there last year. Look, if there's a threat of this game not going, I'm not even driving up there. So you're gonna have somebody else flip it at the beginning.
That's fair. It's a haul. It's a haul for you.
It's not that. Oh, I'm not gonna complain about a haul when Pima's coming up here. They're gonna meet me right there at US 60 and Signal Butte, and I'm just gonna hop on their bus and cruise up with them.
Put a little light on top of your car and usher them in, right? So.
All right, so it all gets going tomorrow night. To just talk about a couple of things you've seen your team develop over the preseason, spring ball, and all that. To give us a couple of things that you're excited to see in under the lights in full action.
It's kind of one of those things where you've only been practicing against yourself for a long time, so you start to look good, and then you have times where you look bad because our scout defense is dominating our offense, and they know our plays, and they know that, and it's man, I don't know. As much as I want to exude confidence, it's one of those things as a coach where even if you feel like your team's prepared, you never really have that good sense of like, you're never at ease with it, right? Because you could always want more, and you never know. You got to remember, these are high school kids. You can compare as much as humanly possible, and they could literally just, tank it tomorrow. Not on purpose, but really just kind of go in the tank. It could be a lot going on. I keep telling them there's going to be a lot of pageantry. There's going to be a lot of people here. There's going to be a lot of that stuff that they're not used to. And it's really just going to depend on how much they can concentrate. I think they're prepared, but I feel like it's a concentration type thing going into tomorrow night.
Before we talk too much more about Pima, let's go back to last week's scrimmage. when I was coaching, that always told me a lot. And I just want to know, are we physical enough to go against guys? And you went against a 3A team and again a Gilbert Christian team that always seems to be close to the playoffs or in the playoffs. What did you take away from the scrimmage?
I was pleasantly surprised, right? So we kind of rolled out there. We played LA Ironwood, which is a pretty good size 3A schooler, part of that American Leadership Academy that has all the schools around the valley, those charter schools. And they were big. They were big. I think they probably have one of the better D lines. If not the best D line that we'll see. You can ask Steve. They were massive. They were big kids. They had motors. They got the face mask, the old Ray Lewis face mask, and they got the visor.
Well, they
big
were
kids.
They weren't just big; they were tall as well. They had length and things like that. Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like I like the way we performed. I mean, there's always room for improvement, right? But I feel like we were able to move the ball a little bit defensively. I think we started out slow because we started on defense. First time you're hitting somebody else. But I felt after a while we kind of locked in. And I felt like when we got to Gilbert Christian, because we did half against LA and then half against Gilbert Christian. Once we got to Gilbert Christian, I felt like we had a little bit of cohesion. The kids were a little bit more energized, a little bit cooler. And I felt like we were going to start to go a little bit, and then we got rained out. So it's still kind of one of those things where you're like, what did you really see? Right? You're like, what did you see? Pima played 3 different teams and they got them all in. And then we got like 1.5, 1.25, So I'm still wondering.
Well, one question that I know we had going into last year was a new quarterback who'd never played quarterback. Obviously now led you to the state championship, had a whole off season. Yeah. Talk about his progress.
Sean's actually done pretty good. As much as I wanted him to put in the hard work last year in the weight room and the running and all that stuff, he was a little aloof, if you want to say, well, lack of better words. He was a little aloof last year. I think as a senior leader, he's kind of realized that there's a lot of pressure on him, but he's embracing it a little bit. The pressure's there, but he's put in the work. He's doing the actual workouts where we're pushing him a little bit, obviously protecting his shoulder, but he's put in much more work, and his leadership has really, really grown this year. It's kind of nice. Like, he's running the huddle. He's demanding a little respect. He's getting on guys that they need to fix it. And obviously he's frustrated with his flaws, but he's working on those as well. Though I think he's come along pretty well. It'll be interesting to see him with some live bullets tomorrow, but I think he's come along pretty well.
Well, that was going to be kind of my question as well. And just to follow up on that, I mean, when we showed up last Wednesday, Dale, we showed up and you guys were wearing your gray tops. I'm used to the black ones that you had last year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we walked up and literally I was like, well, where are they at? And I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see anything. I can just see colors. And I'm like, well, that's not them. That team's too big. Like that team's too big. Like literally that was my thought. Like that's that 3A team, whatever. And we're standing there and I'm like, no, that's Sean. And Sean's grown this year. I don't know. You mentioned his weight loss. He's put on weight. But then you have some big offensive and defensive linemen there that same guys for the most part, for those of you that don't know, and you've gotten size, receivers are taller this year. Cornerbacks are taller. And last year, I'm not kidding you, I could stand on the field behind the bench and I could see the field. I had to step off to the side this year to watch this. I had to go down to like the 20-yard line and not stand behind the bench because of the size that you got in there. Stuff like that. The other thing I wanted to say was, with Sean, last year, I questioned it here on this program a little bit, right? Down times, when the starters were pulled at times last year, I brought it up on the show where I said, a lot of high school kid stuff going on the sidelines, not paying attention. And in that practice, man, Sean was there. He was throwing the ball, staying warm. He was in guys' faces, not negatively, but he was talking to guys. Other guys were involved. A couple of your players that didn't play in that scrimmage were keeping guys engaged and stuff like that. So that's the first thing that I noticed there is the maturity level. You kind of just addressed it there, but it's not just Sean. It's, a couple other guys on that team. I noticed it right off the bat. So.
Yeah, I think our maturity level is these kids are pretty locked in. It's and you're right. I feel like Taco came in, which is awesome. I saw that tweet, Dale, which is awesome. Like that gets your heartstrings, man. Dang it. I saw it. I read it. I'm like zooming in, but that was amazing tweet, an amazing letter by Taco. But it's kind of one of those things. I feel like Taco came into the weight room the other day because he's doing a couple like video things for us. And he's like, oh my gosh, like you guys are big. And he's not talking about just like tall wise. He's like,
Yeah.
you guys are big. He's like, oh, you guys worked out. I'm like, yeah, dude. See what happens when you like really put in all this effort. Like, obviously he did, but as a team, we just did it better. Our average height had to go up, and I don't even know if this is exaggerating, like
No.
2 inches.
Yeah.
Like our average height might have gone up 2 inches. We've got like this our wide receiver core is 6'1" or 6'2", 6'4", 6'3", and then we got a little speedster at like 5'10", right? And then we can bring in another kid, our sophomore tight end. He's 6'3". Like we did get bigger. It's and then I talked to Landon Larkey, which I think you know, Dale, too.
Yeah.
I talked Larkey's out. That dude's 6'3", 280.
Yeah.
You know, our other tackle on offensive line, Cade McKee's been putting in a lot of hard work this year, and he's a big kid too. He's probably, 6'1", 6'2", about 250, 260. And then you got Sammy. We are much bigger this year. It's nice. I just hope we can move people with it,
Before we get to defense, offensively, give the listeners, viewers, a couple names that they can look for that you're excited to see tomorrow night.
I think 1 for 1 is Everett Salazar, and it's the tailback. He didn't play in the scrimmage, but man, he is trying. You, Dale, you know him well. That kid's one of the best kids you'll ever meet, in my opinion, right? But that kid has put in so much work because he had a season taken away last year.
Yeah.
Obviously praying to stay healthy, but I think he's gonna want to make sure that everybody knows he's on the field and feels him when he's on the field as well. He's one of those kids. I think Caleb Murphy, which is a name not many people know. He's a wide receiver, super good athlete, junior. Dom Dickerson, which is, I kind of touched on him last week. He's the point guard for the basketball team. Now he's our slot, and he runs like a true 4.5 and could get down to that 4.4 level. He's fast, physical, athletic. I think Nathaniel Elrod, who's a sophomore running back, he's a big kid. He's about 210, about 5'10", 210, and he's got some wheels on him. He's low to the ground, short little stubby calves and big thighs. So hopefully we can put those to work. But and then the offensive line, right? When you get Sammy, an all-state kid, back at center to kind of make the calls and get the line going, it's a huge blessing. And we had, 3 of our 5 linemen are back, which is huge. Bennett Libby and Joey Casasilla. And we got I'm just pretty much giving you everybody, right? Luke White at left tackle, who's
Don't leave a couple guys out. Don't do it.
I know that's the thing, right? And
Isaiah Steffen.
I just think Isaiah Steffen, Isaiah looks good. He had to sit out the scrimmage. Yeah, he was a little dinged up, but man, he has that Drake offer. I feel like anybody that sees him's like, who's this kid? Who's that kid? And it's not just a t-shirt and shorts thing. It's like when we were doing sevens all summer, San Diego State head coach came and watched little old SCA play. They brought us up on the big field to let us see Isaiah. Now, Isaiah, I think, got a little nervous, right? Which happens. And I think he had a couple of nerves during that game. But I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete. Can go get the ball. His range is crazy. He can jump. He's physical, and he's a 4.5 kid. He ran I think a 4.51 at San Diego State in front of the coaches, which is awesome.
That's crazy. 2A.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. I mean,
I know.
I mean, it was impressive. It'll be fun to kind of watch the matchup here, with you guys' increased size and everything compared. Because you guys, I mean, I think, not to be insulting, but I think in years past, you guys weren't the biggest guys out there. You guys were kind of mismatched on that side. So at least to make it on the even side, it might be a little fun to watch here coming up. So.
Well, that was what I took so much pride in. I think I was the only offensive line coach in the state whose left tackle weighed less than the quarterback the last couple of years.
That can't be a lie. That had to be the absolute truth. Yeah, it's like that's so true. Like it's crazy. It's like our quarterback is bigger than our left tackle.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't usually happen. Like in height and weight.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, go to that defense. You guys, obviously, Pima knows what you run. Has much changed since last year? You just running that thing back with a few different players?
I think Coach Clark is back again, so I feel like it's going to be an attacking style defense. So we're going to try to get after the quarterback a little bit. Try to get Pima in a couple, excuse me, a little burpy burp right there. Sorry guys. But Coach Clark is back on the defense. Abe Ortega coming in as a senior year, he's a starting D lineman for 3 years. probably one of the quickest get-offs I've ever seen. He's only 5'8". He's like 235 pounds, but he gets off the ball so fast. That's where we got Landon in the other D tackle spot. He's 6'3", 280, 290. I think he's a little bit higher, but I let him put what he wanted to on Max Preps. London Olson at defensive end, which is he was a 10.5 sack guy last year as a sophomore. We're expecting a lot out of him. And then other defensive end, we got a couple guys vying for it. Everett's going to play a little linebacker. Jack Philby, Bennett Libby, Martin Perez is back at middle linebacker for us too, which is he's a great communicator. He's he's passing it down the line. And we got 2 kids at corner that didn't play last year, but they're the basketball kids and super athletic, super gifted. And then Caleb Murphy at safety. And then we do have our rover position, a kid that's really surprised us this year. It's our backup quarterback. His name's Carson Reed, and he's super athletic, super physical. And he's about 6'1.5". He's spurted high. He looks like, I call him the guy from the Little Giants. Remember Spike from the Little Giants that shows up and he's just bigger than everybody? Just kind of like we kind of got our own little Spike in Carson, and he'll be playing a little bit of defense for us too.
Now, obviously, over the last 2 years, SCA and Pima played 4 times. You know each other well. You know their coaches well. They know SCA well. I know last year they, in my mind, the running back and defensive lineman, whether the best in the state, they were close to the best in the state.
Pretty close, yes.
You watched film. Yeah. You probably saw their scrimmage. Well, what do you see coming from Pima tomorrow night?
Minus those 2 guys, right? Like Brock Hawes and Jeremiah Martinez were awesome football players for Pima. They're tough kids, rural kids, hit you in the mouth, get back up, hit you in the mouth again. It's kind of their style. They've got a next man up mentality. And this, the tailback that they have, I keep warning the kids, this, Joe Palmer, he played middle linebacker for him last year, started for him at linebacker last year. I think he led the team in tackles over 100 or so. He's a big physical kid. He's 6'2", and he's long. They'll be playing him at tailback. And then you got Rooster Alder, who's number 11 for them. He's put on some size, I could tell by the scrimmage. And then their offensive and defensive lines, dude, they are just tough, nasty kids. They got more kids over 200 than we do for sure, right? So they've got a bunch of kids. They got some beef and some physicality. So it'll be interesting. I think they're going to try to put the ball on the ground and push us around a little bit to kind of see how we can match up against that. We can match physicality and size.
Just for the people out there who don't know the history, SCA's lost the 2 regular season games against Pima.
Yes.
And then won the 2 championship games against Pima.
Yes,
so
yes.
Are you superstitious kind of where you're like, you know what? Hey, I wouldn't mind losing this one if it means we get a championship at the end.
You know, like here's the thing about this game. I feel like this game has got so much pageantry to it. Like it's so big, but it is still only game 1, right? Still, as much you want to win that, and our sights have been here, right here, but it's still only game 1. Now, I'm not making an excuse if we lose, or I'm not making it smaller if we win, or whatever it is, but it's only game 1, and if you can tell, and Dale kind of, I think some of the coaches got annoyed with me in years past because I try to schedule as tough as humanly possible, and I feel like if you do it early, if you get hit in the mouth early, then you're going to be hitting everybody in the mouth late because that's all you know and that's all you've gone through. It, you know, if you have a schedule that's not tough and you go into the playoffs and you play a tough team, chances are you're going to get caught off guard and they're going to be much more physical. I have no clue if I just answered your question, but I think that's what it was.
Well,
wait, just to add on to what you said, this team and a lot of these guys went through it last year. Where did we start off? 1-3? Yeah. I mean,
1-3.
I mean, to dig out of that hole, but all 4 teams were really good football teams. You know?
Oh yeah, they were. I mean, they were. So we played obviously Valley Christian, who was a 3A team, and they ended up playing better at the end of the year. They're good. Listen, they just had an off year, but they're good. Played Tonopah, who was in the semifinals, and we played San Antonio, who we played in the semifinals. So you know, out of those 4 games, and then Scottsdale Prep was a top 8 team. Tonopah was a top 4, Santan was a top 4, and the other one was a 3A, you know, and we were going through it at the beginning of the year last year, but we obviously put it together. And I think if my goal for this year is to not be going through it, you know what I mean? And just to be like, what can we do from start to finish? Now, I love the process of the season, and I usually feel like I'm a painter at sometimes, and I'm like, okay, I know what's going to happen here. It's obviously we're starting this painting, but at the end of the day, it's like what you finish with and what the finished product was. I just want that product to be better from start to finish this year.
You want another painting of you in your downstairs bathroom? Is that what you're trying to say?
I do. Yeah, I did show you that thing, right? No, that thing is in my office, turned around, face the wall. That thing does not see the light of day. It does not. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Well, let me ask you this, because Pima is going to be a very physical team going into it. A lot of you guys, you're an older team going into this year, but what's the mindset? One, we've already talked about it last week of getting these guys ready for a season after back-to-back championships. That several of these guys were a part of both of them, and they're getting their chance now. And then just on top of it, starting the season against a very physical team here. So mindset of your team going into it. I mean, are you noticing some nerves here, this week as it gets closer, or is there a calmness to everybody?
That's a great question. I feel like Monday there was nerves, right? There was nerves. The practice was kind of just like, you could tell that those kids were clinching and really just stressing about everything and trying to be too perfect, right? Instead of taking care of the little things. Tuesday, obviously, what's today? Today's only already Wednesday, right?
Wednesday,
so
yeah. You're a day away, coach.
I know. Tuesday is yesterday was much better. I felt like they were locked in. They're not walking around like, they don't stink. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like they've humbled themselves a little bit. They're chomping in the bit. And it's almost like it felt like forever to get here. And then at the same time, the boys said it too. It's felt like it's the fastest way. It feels like forever. And it was the fastest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if that makes sense, but I feel like we got here so fast, but it's been forever to get here. And I think they're just ready to hit somebody else. Ready to show the state what we can do. We obviously have some pageantry behind us and everybody kind of picking us to be good, but we have to prove a lot. We have to prove a lot. I've said it. I said it last week. We're nothing. We're nothing until you win again.
Right.
Well, that was my question here. I mean, tons of expectations going on to it. I mean, are you hearing guys kind of talk about those expectations, or is it just not being spoken of, and they know they're going into a new season right now? Because we're dealing with 16, 17, maybe 18-year-old kids, and it's easy to go, hey, Richard Oprah wrote about me 4 times in this off-season type of a situation,
right.
that you normally don't have to deal with. I mean, are you hearing rumblings, or is it, for the most part, being kept under hand? Because that's kind of the interesting side of it.
Yeah, I think at first, they were starting to love it and look at that stuff and retweet it and do all those things. And I almost feel like it might have been too much, but too much is actually a good thing in this part because the boys started to forget about it, right? That we were getting written about like, oh, this game is so big and it's the number 1 game and all that stuff. I felt like it was so much so early that like they kind of got all that out of the way. If that was happening this week, I feel like it'd be a little bit more stressful for them. But I feel like the culture in these boys and the time that we've had to be able to have these discussions and kind of work through those things, I feel like it's been good that it started a little bit earlier, right? So it's like they've been talking about us for 3 weeks because we were the only ones going, right? So it's good that it got out of the way, and now it's just time to play football, and I think they're ready to go. I truly do.
So tell us, so tomorrow, you like you said, stressful time around. Well, one, unlike last year, kids staying out of trouble leading up to this first game.
Yeah, we are minus today, right? So today's still got to happen.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Knock on wood.
As of right now,
Knock on wood.
I put a huddle today. I'm like, go home and go to bed.
Yeah.
Do not go anywhere. Give yourself no opportunity to do anything dumb. Do your homework. Go to bed. Yeah, we're pretty clear to go. We're pretty clear to go as far as like injuries. No problems, nothing like that as of right now.
Well, since you just brought up injuries before my final question, talk a little bit, give an update. Obviously, last week you had a serious injury there on the the scrimmage there and everything. So if you update everybody, if you will, on that situation.
Yeah, so Carter Loop, who's a sophomore, who's freaking amazing young kid. He's put in so much work. He's on the smaller end, but he hasn't held him back at all. He put on 20 pounds, and I think he still only weighs $140, right?
Yeah.
But he was playing corner for us, and it was just one of those freak accidents. It was, you don't see it very often, but he was getting blocked one way, and one of our defenders was getting blocked the other way. And our guy hit his pretty much like right below his knee, almost like his calf area. And then the other guy from ALA Ironwood blocked our guy in the quad, right? So his leg was going from left and right. So kind of like this, the leg was in between. And he broke his femur. Like his femur was sticking out to the right. And if you understand the amount of pounds of pressure that it takes to break a femur, like I've been doing this for 25 years. And Dale, I don't remember if you remember Dooley. Dooley was the only other one in all those years.
Yep.
But he was also 6'5", 300 pounds, and he got bent over a pile, right? Like usually these kids are pretty rubber. He broke his femur. He tried to run off the field.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
He jogged off the field. He fell down. I'm like, lay down. I yelled at him, which I feel bad about now. But I yelled at him. I went over there, and I'm like, what's hurting? And I put my hand on his knee because he's like, oh, my knee hurts. And literally, I could feel, I thought it was his kneecap.
Yeah.
I could feel his femur was in my hand. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we had to call 911, get the ambulance out there. He went to Phoenix Children's Hospital. They reset it. So they put it back in that night. They had surgery at 8 a.m. What would that have been? Thursday morning. He was out of surgery by 8:15. 2 screws both ways. It like is awesome, or as bad as this sounds, it's a great thing. It was a clean break. There was no like tendons, no ACL, no MCL, no any problems. So they were able to put the 2 screws in. They said it was as clean a break as you could have that you would want if you break it. That young man was out of the hospital that day, would not take pain meds because he wants to be tough. And he was back at school yesterday. And I'm like, bro, and he's on crutches.
A week later, I was going to say crutches, right? Yeah.
Less than a week later.
Will you get in a wheelchair? I go, get in a wheelchair. Get in a wheelchair, and who cares? Like, but just a tough kid and a freak accident. And I went and saw him in the hospital. And the first thing, like, I was like, man, I hope one day, like, I don't know what you want to do next year, but I hope one day or whatever. He's like, coach, I'll be back. I'm coming back. Like, zero fear. It was pretty impressive, especially like a young one, a young, smaller end kid. It's pretty cool to see. Not the injury, but the attitude.
Absolutely. And I mean, he handled, because I was originally told it was a kneecap, so I was like, oh, pop that back into place. It'll be painful. Yeah.
Who knew?
And then I can't remember who it was, told me that it was a femur, and I was like, oh, and then they were working with his toes, and I was like, but I was watching his reaction, and, obviously he was upset about it and stuff like that, but I was impressed with the way he handled that, because most people, I think I would freak out if I knew that had happened.
Oh,
to
how
me
could you not?
like that, right?
If it was like my kid or something like that, his parents were actually held it pretty good, so it was awesome.
I've never seen. Okay, I'll say this about his parents. I've never seen parents be so calm about something like that ever in my life. That was pretty impressive by them as well. So.
You know what it was? It was cool. I think the dad is a dentist. Not that he's a doctor, whatever.
Now you're gonna insult dentists.
No. I didn't mean to. I know I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole, but he knew like his neighbor's an orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
So literally, he went to he FaceTimed him while he was on the field, and his surgeon's like, it made him feel so good because at the same time, you're not dealing with a neck, you're not dealing with brain, you're not dealing with spinal cord, you're not doing any of those things. So that doctor was like, hey, no, this is okay. Anything in these areas is fixable. You can do that. He's going to live a long life. There's it. And they showed it to him and he made him feel better. So I feel like the ease of knowing somebody was a blessing in that moment. Right. So I think that's what it was. And the parents were like, hey, even the dad was awesome. He's just like, hey, it's nothing that's life threatening. It's nothing that's going to, necessarily change the trajectory of his life. It's a femur and we'll fix it and we'll move forward.
Perfect. And then, so my last question, I just wanted to update on that because it was a serious injury, obviously. And, I know he's coming out of it on the good end there, right? With all that. But so tomorrow, give us a thing, right? 7 p.m. kickoff there from Scottsdale Christian Academy up there. We'll be up there to, cover with you guys and everything. I'll have my polo shirt on this time. He yelled at me last Wednesday. I didn't have my shirt on.
Yeah.
I was in a
complained about a hat and I gave you a polo.
Yeah. I was in a deep sleep. I couldn't find my hat. I know where it is now. I was in a deep sleep, man. Autumn came over.
We need to know about what Steve went through before the scrimmage for crying out
no,
loud.
I know. What
he
you
sees
have,
me.
Senior taco.
Yes.
All that.
He did. And he sees me, and his first thing he says, "Where's your shirt?"
Okay.
From the middle of the field.
Well, you were complaining about the hat. So I'm like, what the heck, dude?
I did like your dad, though. Shout out to your dad. He goes, he made me buy my shirt.
You know what? I do. I don't pay him, and I make him pay for it. So, like, it's just like, but you know what? Fair enough. He's probably listening, but gosh, man, I love my dad to death, but he's part of my stress and losing weight because every day he's like, "This working? How's this going? What's going on over here?" I'm like, "Dad, will you stop? Will you stop? I'm already going through it."
Right.
He's awesome.
He's
a huge
great.
blessing to me with
Yeah,
those
he's
guys.
great,
awesome.
man. To deal with. Your coaching staff is good. I mean, the defensive guys, I don't talk to them because they scare me a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. Clark and them, but no, your coaching staff's good this year. They all seem relaxed. I was talking to them a little bit during that injury last Wednesday, and it's obviously it's a big thing that was happening, but you could just tell that everybody's ready to go. So going into tomorrow, right? I joked around about pep rallies and everything, but for the day tomorrow, leading up to that 7 p.m. game, what's the schedule going to be like for these guys?
Well, obviously, like long day tomorrow, jerseys at school, do all that stuff. Advisory, we'll probably watch a little bit of film tomorrow. Get here at 4, show up at 4, eat. 4:30 chapel with Mr. Chambers, who's amazing. We'll bring some fire. Then we'll kind of wrap it up, get ready to play, and get out there. And there is a media room tomorrow, so we'll have some food for you too. So there'll be I'll get some food.
Senor Taco is going to be mad we're not hitting him up.
I know, exactly. I know. Jeez.
Well, let's end it with this, Mike. You ruffled a lot of feathers last year when we did this. So give us a prediction. What's the final score tomorrow? How much do you win by?
No, yeah, absolutely not. I'll let everybody listen. If I give more, it's just fun for them, right? It's just like what I don't get. Here's what I don't get is why they care so much about somebody other than themselves. Like it's unreal. Dude. But anyways, I always like saying a little bit, but honestly, like I said, I'm hoping all the teams have a great year. Obviously, you're gonna get rivals, and this is a competitive sport, and there's gonna be like people and coaches and families that get a little ruffled of feathers. But hey, I'm here for my boys, and if I coach your boys, I love them just as much as I love mine. So
Mike sent me a text yesterday. He said 42-3 SCA.
I said nothing. I said I would not do that because I do not do that. I would never in my life do that. Don't anyone ever listen to that.
Pima, I am really just joking. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't do that.
That's gonna be the angriest bus ride up here you've ever seen. The coach is just gonna replay that the whole way up.
Like, he said, yeah, exactly.
They'll stop halfway for like snacks or a bathroom break or something, and they're gonna ruin bathrooms on the way up here. It's gonna be a mess.
They're gonna stop and get a bunch of like pre-workout and all that stuff and be ready to go. Listen, those dudes will be ready to play tomorrow night. Hopefully we are too.
Absolutely, Coach. I'm looking forward to it. See you tomorrow night. And everything, and it'll be a fun time. And congratulations on the score. I noticed last week the scoreboard was all burnt out and everything, so I didn't know you had a new one coming.
Well, you're not allowed to use it during the scrimmage, so it wasn't up. So
I just saw the old one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but this one is
damaged.
Should be cool. Hopefully it's working. If not, then we got a backup plan anyway. So
all right, me flipping numbers around apparently.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
I'll be like, gosh, another 7 out. What's 14 plus 7?
Well, I've got a little vest, a little highlighter vest for you. I did get a bigger size for you too, so we're good.
Yeah,
so
right. You're gonna hand me a large.
Yeah. It's a medium. It's a medium. So
I got a picture when you and I were talking in the scrimmage there on the sideline while the plays were going on. Somebody took a picture of it and sent it to me. And I'm like, that picture's not seeing the light of day. I make you look like you're like this nice little skinny kid. Yeah.
Send that to me. Please send that to me.
It's not that bad. I don't look that bad in pictures, Dale. Unlike Dale says there. All right, enough about me. Senor Tucker is gonna miss me tomorrow then, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you guys, man.
Enough about me, and then he says another thing about me.
No. That was my care for Senor Taco.
Bye, good luck tomorrow. Just say goodbye. Good luck.
No, I was a Senor Taco. I'm just warning them they're not going to get my $80 or whatever I spent on Taco.
Oh, that's for 2 burritos. You should have got you should have got the one. You should have just gone with what you wanted, dude. Don't let her bully you into a bigger plate next time. You know what I mean? So.
Wait, did I tell you that story, or was that on the show? You saw it on the show.
No, I listened to see how dumb I sounded and how many likes and ums I had.
She did. She totally bullied me. That was like, I know, right? No. You say, What kind of food are you gonna have? Let me ask that.
I don't know. I gotta order it today, so we'll see.
Enough about me. Another 5 minutes about Steve.
I'll recommend the Senor Tacos. Cater that thing in there. I recommend that.
Oh, I'm not giving anybody who's gonna be on any sidelines burritos. I don't want anything near me.
No, I do tacos, man. I do tacos on that.
Okay.
Say goodbye. Enough about you.
Say goodbye.
I love.
All right, guys.
I love
I'll
making Dale
I'll see you
uncomfortable. See you tomorrow, Coach. Have a good one.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Wow.
Now I'm hungry for senior taco.
Wow.
Come on back, folks. The main event. Want to eat some tacos?